Welcome back, everyone. Oz here, and today I've got some r/AmITheDevil for you all. As per usual, I'll be reading the posts, giving you my own opinion, and I hope you do the same down in the comments below. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. Cross-posted from r/AmITheAsshole, would I be the asshole public? Am I the asshole for admitting to something my brother and I did as kids? So, our family recently got together to celebrate my grandmother's birthday. The atmosphere was very relaxed, we shared stories, and so on. At one point, one of my aunts confessed that she had dyed my other aunt's, her sister's, wedding dress, making it look pink, and she was the reason why the wedding was postponed. Everyone thought it was funny and started confessing to various things. No one blamed anyone. Everyone laughed, and there were lots of, "Ha! I always knew it was you!" etc. So, at some point, I spoke up. I don't remember exactly how I said it, but it was something like, "Hey, remember that weird stalker who used to text my cousin's name when she was 15 and every day sent her badly photoshopped pictures of blue ugly cats? Yeah, that was me and my brother when we were around 8 and 12. I thought everyone would react similarly because the situation was equally absurd, and now I can say that A, those photos were really ugly, and B, it was pretty obvious it had to be someone from our family because this stalker knew things no one else had the right to know, and always knew about it 5 minutes after the fact." The thing is, no one laughed. My cousin, on the other hand, got absolutely furious and started saying that my brother and I had ruined her teenage years and that we had scared her for a long time, about being afraid to leave the house, etc. Meanwhile, my brother decided to blame it all on me, saying it was 100% my idea and that he resisted, and that he wanted to tell everyone many times, but I told him no. I literally remember that it was 50-50. We both had fun, and then we got bored and never talked about it again. Plus, he is literally the older one. It ended with my aunt, my cousin's mother, having to drag my cousin to another room because she was crying and screaming at us. Things got awkward, and eventually my grandfather told everyone to leave. Later, my brother sent me a message saying, "Why would you tell everyone?" And since then, no one else texted me. The only time I was mentioned was in the group chat, me, brother, sister, mom, and dad, when dad said he was disappointed in us, me and brother. But honestly, I don't understand. I mean, yes, it was wrong, but also, literally everyone that day was telling stories about how they were terrible people in the past, and everyone was laughing. And it's not even that other stories were any milder. Other examples include one uncle who confessed that when he was 8, he deliberately encouraged his sister/my aunt to jump off of a tree, hoping she would break something, go to the hospital, and then he could eat the whole cake himself. So I really don't understand why this particular story caused such a mess. Edit. I forgot to add that the stalker story took place 14 years ago. I also don't know why many people assume in the comments that I'm a man. I am a woman. Okay, so, for starters, your family just sounds like a group of kind of terrible people, and I'm not shocked as to where you and your brother got it from. Additionally, your brother fucking sucks, dog. Like, damn, he literally saw where the tide was going and decided to pin the entire stalker scenario on an 8-year-old. Like, dude, you guys have to understand, I tried to stop them, but they were just so goddamn convincing. You were 4 years older, man. Damn, dude. But moving to the bulk of the story, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, but the actions you committed are not comparable to dyeing a wedding dress pink and convincing your sibling to try and break a bone. Which is honestly an incredible feat to be able to pull off, by the way. I also am kind of shocked that you being an adult and being 22 years old can't understand the kind of trauma and problems that you caused with your whole fake stalking fiasco. I mean, you made a 15-year-old, afraid to leave her house, believe that she was being stalked so severely to the point where things that would happen to her 5 minutes later, her stalker would then report to her on. Like, that is some serious psychological trauma and fear that she probably had to live with and deal with therapy and never got closure, and probably spent several years always looking over her shoulder with the idea that someone was still following her and after her. Like, when I say this, I don't mean to be dismissive, but it is really hard to comprehend just how horrifying a stalker scenario is until it begins to actively happen to you. Because it's a time in your life where you have no control over what someone is trying to do or what could do to you. You're always looking over your shoulder. You're second guessing every single interaction, and you feel like you have no power or no control in your own home. Like something could happen at any moment. And on the outside, most people just hear the word stalker and shrug it off. It's hard to comprehend the kind of psychological fuckery that actually begins to happen when that happens to you. Like, OP probably genuinely does not grasp the severity of what she and her brother did to their cousin when they were younger. They definitely caused some long-term psychological problems to the point where even 14 years later, with her being 29, she has this kind of reaction to finding out that all of those years of trauma with her stalker were for nothing. A prank from her younger cousins. Like, you are 8, and you definitely could not comprehend the severity of the situation at hand, but you're now an adult, and you still can't comprehend the severity of the situation at hand. But additionally, on top of that, your brother just sucks. Like, dude, I still can't get over how quick he yeeted 8-year-old you under the bus. Like, damn, bro. Cross-posted from r/AmITheAsshole. Am I the asshole for being a little bit annoyed my brother still won't forgive me for being a bit of a bully as a child? My bro knows my actual account, so needed to make a throwaway for this one. In short, my brother was always the nerdier one of the two of us, and as a child and young teen, I was a bit of a bully towards him. In all honesty, I never meant any of it maliciously, and I never let him go to sleep upset with me. But I used to tease him a lot about his hobbies. Mainly anime, to be honest. We both played video games together, but anime is something I never really got into, so I used to tease him a fair bit about it. But like I said, I never did it maliciously, and I honestly didn't think it affected him this badly. Throughout the years, we slowly grew further and further apart until we both went off to university. And honestly, that's when most of our communication ended, apart from the holidays where we'd come home to family. He's always been cold towards me since, and I figured that's just the way he is. He's still a huge anime/video game fan, but I have absolutely no problem with it at all. I think it's really cool that he can be proud of his own interests, and to be honest, both anime and games are super popular now, so it ain't a bad thing to enjoy them. I'm 26 now, and he's 23, and he still hasn't forgiven me for the years I spent teasing him. His birthday was yesterday, and I got him DMC and an anime poster. It's a popular anime I know he's always loved. He was super thankful, but I knew something was off from the way he looked at it when he unwrapped it. But I let it go till after dinner. We were sat with Dad in the garden for a while, and when Dad went back into the house, my brother let it all out on me. He said I made his years as a teenager miserable because I didn't give him the freedom to like whatever he wanted. And he used to cry himself to sleep because he knew he was a weirdo. He isn't, LOL. He's relatively popular in uni and definitely not an introverted shy guy, so I don't know where that came from. Apparently, he felt embarrassed to enjoy anime just because of what I was saying to him, which is ridiculous. I told him he's always been free to like what he wants and he should never be ashamed of his hobbies. He wasn't having it, LOL. He called me a hypocrite and said I'm an asshole who made him feel like shit for a long time. So, after having a go at me for like 30 minutes, I was really fucking pissed off he still isn't over it. It's been like 10 years, and what I teased him about was never that bad. I'm really pissed off he isn't letting it go and is essentially throwing away our relationship as brothers just because I made fun of him as a child. Am I the asshole for what I did? Or am I the asshole for being angry now? Yes. A nice little comment from Junior Anteater 9927. Gotta love the, I'll tell you how my actions should affect you and make you feel, and if you don't agree, then you're being childish/crazy/emotional/overreacting. Behavior of people like this. Unfortunately, I've known too many in my life. That shit lasts. They hurt you and tell you you're wrong for being hurt. So it's your fault. You spend your life trying to twist into an impossible shape so that they'll stop hurting you. I'm still unlearning a lot of my coping mechanisms for being in environments like that. He should feel lucky his brother still talks to him at all. He made his home and childhood painful and unsafe. Junior Anteater knocked it out of the park with their summary on this one. Just one additional note that I do want to make is that one little line that OP made that's just a bit of a Freudian slip here. The comment of, I think it's really cool that he can be proud of his own interests, and to be honest, both anime and games are super popular now, so it ain't a bad thing to enjoy them. So when they weren't popular, what was your opinion then? Because the one insertion of saying popular now tells me a lot about how you view his hobbies and activities and what he likes, and how you viewed them currently and how you viewed them previously. Just one simple word being included in that sentence tells the entire story. Because I get the impression that when it wasn't mainstream, it was okay to pick on him for being weird, but now that they are mainstream, oh, it's not a bad thing that he enjoys them at all. In fact, he should be proud of them. You bullied your brother for his interests, and you self-admitted to it, and you won't even apologize for it. And you're upset that he still holds your behavior against you. Because again, you won't apologize for it. If you really want him to move past it, and you really want to build that relationship with your brother, and you really want to, wait, what is the wording you used? Oh yeah, throwing away our relationship as brothers because I made fun of him as a child. Hey, maybe you should apologize for making fun of him as a child if you really want that relationship as brothers. Just an idea. Cross-posted from r/AmITheAsshole. Am I the asshole for revoking my daughter's college fund? I know it sounds bad, but please hear me out. When my wife and I divorced, my daughter, 14 female, took my wife's side, which I was pretty upset and surprised about. She was 12 when we separated, and we were very close, unlike her and her mother. I didn't hold it against her because she's a kid and didn't know any better, and I make the effort to see her. I love spending time with my daughter. I met my current wife 4 years ago. She was pre-law and was planning on taking loans to pay for law school. However, about 2 years later, we were engaged, and I didn't want her to take on any loans, so I offered to pay for law school. She was apprehensive, but I wanted a good start to our marriage life, and not want any loans hanging over our heads. So she agreed. I used my I used my daughter's college fund to pay for my wife's school and planned on replenishing it so that my daughter would have a fund when it was her turn to go to college. I put a little money in each month. I honestly thought this was okay because when I had asked her about college at the time of doing this, she said that she wanted to go to makeup school and be a makeup artist and that college sucks. Well, apparently her mindset changed because on Sunday we met up and she was talking about AP classes. I was surprised because I didn't think she was interested in school. I asked her if she was joking, but she said that she's aiming for computer science at some top private college and that her dream is to start a startup business. She then asked me if she had a college fund, and then she wanted to know if she should add on an EC or get a job. I told her the truth about her college fund, and that right now, there's not enough money for even a year at a private college. She then started crying and making a scene, and told me that she couldn't believe that I chose my wife over her mom, and now I'm choosing her again over my daughter. Which is not true, since my daughter is getting a fund, just not private school tuition. She then called my wife a bunch of awful names that I won't say here. I told her that she's probably not going to get into a private school because she wasn't even serious about school 2 years ago. She called me a shit dad and ran away until her mom came to get her. Her mom later called me angrily about what I said to her and said that my daughter is on track to win some prestigious science fair award and that I was way out of line with what I said, and that I obviously don't know her. I was honestly so done with the bullshit she pulled, and her attitude toward my wife never has been good, and said that I'm probably going to revoke my daughter's college fund since she obviously doesn't deserve it with what she pulled today. My daughter is now refusing to see me and calling me by my first name. I still stand by my decision. Am I the asshole? So, the next 4, 5, 6 paragraphs of the post is just this man fighting for his life in the edits. Here we go. Edit. I'm not done with the rude comments about my wife. It's am I the asshole, not is my wife the asshole. Not that you guys deserve any additional information, but my wife really is great. I'll accept an asshole judgment from me cheating. Dude! Whoa! Wait! Whoa! Okay, here we go. Looking back, I totally missed that. Daughter was 12 when they separated, she's 14 at the time of posting, and he met his current wife 4 years ago. Getting engaged 2 years later after they first met, which daughter was 12 when they separated and is 14 now. Totally did not even realize or parse that information. Anyways, I'll accept an asshole judgment for me cheating, even though it's really not what I'm asking in this post, but everyone seems to be hellbent on it. I was a super asshole for cheating. Happy? My wife wasn't. When we met, I was 32 and she was 20. We had a casual relationship and I didn't mean to start it, but she was so amazing and had such a vibrant personality. And I was really depressed at that time, but she helped uplift me. I didn't tell her I was married, only that I had a daughter, and I know that's bad, but I didn't feel married to my ex-wife at the time. I was so unhappy, and she was too. My wife and I had an amazing relationship, and as she was going to be graduating college soon, she wanted to get serious. I told her the truth, and my wife was upset, but she decided to forgive me. I proposed and introduced her to my daughter, and she hoped we would be a family. She was nothing but kind to my daughter, but my daughter was hostile from the minute she met her. Never gave a chance. My daughter and my mom would play cruel pranks on her, like organizing a date and never showing up, ruining her wedding dress, spreading rumors about her to all my relatives, making fun of her to her face. My wife took the high route and forgave all of that, only speaking highly of my daughter. Even to her friends, she'll brag about how pretty and amazing my daughter is, and how she's sure my daughter will accept her when she's a bit older. So yes, my wife is a saint and an amazing person. Stop shitting on her, Reddit. You got your backstory. Dude, even your mom. Wow. Edit. I will keep my daughter's fund and try to add enough money for private school. If she doesn't apologize and consider my wife her family, though, she won't be getting it. I'd rather her be hostile to me and hate me rather than my wife, since I fucked up, but my wife is feeling guilty over something that's not her mistake. Edit. So a lot of shit went down after I posted this, or because I posted this actually. My wife called my daughter's mother because she felt bad about the situation and is sad about my relationship with my daughter. She insisted on the remaining money in the account, about $45K, to my daughter in a separate fund controlled by her mother. Her mother didn't take that well and hung up on my wife after telling her that she didn't need her charity. My wife now won't talk to me because she feels that I put her in a bad position and should have told her before that the money was my daughter's because she figured that it was just extra money I had left over and not my daughter's fund. She's saying that I caused unnecessary drama and could have handled the situation way better, and that she's trying her best to fix what I broke, but she's exhausted. She's currently packing to go stay with her parents for the time being, so that's that. My ex-wife is furious at me because my wife called her and she didn't want to hear my wife's bitch voice. She blew up at me for taking everything so far and is blaming me for ruining everyone's happiness. She says that I can't fix anything anymore and not to even worry about my daughter's fun because she didn't raise her daughter to get on all four knees and beg, and that she has everything figured out for her daughter now. She thanked me for putting everything in perspective and that I'm no longer permitted to visit or contact my daughter. She has full custody. I'm now sitting here, typing all this out and figuring out ways to contest custody, so that's what's happening in my life right now. I just don't get how everything got all messed up when my heart is in the right place. I don't feel wrong. I feel bad for No, I don't. Dude, you... Not only did you destroy your family by cheating on your ex-wife with your new and current wife, but then you decided, oh, how do I cement this new marriage? Oh, I know, liquidating my daughter's college fund. That'll work. She's 14. 14. She's probably a freshman in high school during the time of this posting. And you took the word of a 13-year-old who is still growing when they said they want to go into makeup artistry as, oh yeah, no, that's going to remain the same for 5 years, so therefore, I should just go right ahead and liquidate the college fund because that's definitely where she's going to be. Your ex-wife is right. You know nothing about your daughter. Like, there is so much just going on with this post that makes me wonder if this is just perfectly crafted rage bait because, like, it does check so many boxes, but there are also people who are just this fundamentally dense. The only reason why I'm leaning more towards this being real is just how hard the dude is batting for his new wife. I don't know why, but the way that he's swinging for the fences for her, it just really strikes the box of him desperately trying to justify his past mistakes in a way that I feel could only really be done from someone who is in this headspace. I don't know. That's just where my brain goes with this one. And why I'm not necessarily leaning towards this being just really good comedic tragedy of rage bait, because this is just ridiculous. Oh yeah, my 13-year-old daughter wants to be a makeup artist, therefore I should just liquidate her college fund and give it to my new wife. Wait, what do you mean you want to go into computer science? Cross posted from r/AmITheAsshole. Am I the asshole for telling my husband he was being too emotional and needed to be more logical? My husband's mother hated me from day one. She mocked me, ignored me, talked shit. She was just awful. I put up with it for so long because I loved my husband. But then we had our first child and mother-in-law was ignoring him too. I told my husband I was sick of her shit and he needed to stand up for his family. He tried to set boundaries, but mother-in-law didn't care. She flat out said no contact was fine, but she would not play nice with me. He ended up going no contact after she said some nasty things. Despite being no contact, we do occasionally see her at family stuff. Mother-in-law does not come over and speak to us, so I view it as a non-issue. My kids don't even know she's their grandma. I think they might know her first name, but that's it. I know this is hard on my husband, and I have tried to sympathize. Mother-in-law broke her foot recently. She'll be fine. But she fell on a waterfall. When we got home from the family cookout, my husband broke down crying about how someday she's going to be elderly, and the thought scares him, because what if she needs someone? I pointed out that mother-in-law had spoken about that in family therapy, and said that she had made very careful plans and made sure there was money there, made sure didn't need power of attorney, and that she'll be fine. He said it still isn't the same, and he's so torn up about the thought of no one taking care of her. I, again, tried to be rational. I said it was just her foot. She is married, so it makes sense that we wouldn't be the ones helping her right now anyway. And she might not even need care as she gets older. No one can predict the future, but she is in excellent shape and very active. Whatever care she does need, they can afford, and she's very responsible when it comes to planning that stuff. He began crying and said he hates his life. She is just a bitch, but she's still his mom, and he's supposed to take care of her. I told him that he was hurting my feelings, but he snapped at me that it wasn't about me. I ended up snapping and telling him what it says in the title. He said I'm heartless and don't care about him. I hope you two are divorced because this was posted 3 years ago. I'm just gonna be 100% honest. Like, that's a fucked up thing to say to your husband. In a moment of vulnerability when he actually needed comfort and he showed his feelings, he was hit with, "You need to be more logical about this." Like, what the fuck? In a weird way, I can kind of understand why the mother-in-law doesn't like you. But even if I were to go and take OP's words at face value that mother-in-law was extremely nasty, just cruel, rude, and just laundry list of other things, to the point where they went no contact, mother-in-law was happy with it, and your kids don't even know that that's their grandmother, it definitely does bring up a lot of questions, actually, now that I say that list out loud. But besides that, let's say OP is 100% in the right to just completely cut mother-in-law off. Your husband still had a moment of emotional vulnerability where he needed you, where the weight and insecurities of the world around him was getting to him, and he broke down, and he needed to talk to someone about it. The one person who's supposed to be there through thick and thin. He expressed his feelings to you, and what did you respond with? Not comfort, not understanding, not love, but instead telling him that he's hurting your feelings, and that he needs to be more logical and stop being emotional. That's revolting behavior. Cross-posted from r/AmITheAsshole. Am I the asshole for telling my brother I met his new girlfriend at an AA meeting? My brother started dating this new girl, and I realized I recognized her from AA. I'm not an addict, but my lawyer recommended I attend some AA meetings to help straighten an ongoing case against me. I know it's her because I remember her very unique name from the AA meeting, and she also talked for a very long time. I thought it was important to mention it to my brother because I'm worried about her as a partner to him. In AA, she mentioned that not only did she use hard drugs, but also that she feels like she can't control herself. She also admitted to drugs making her verbally aggressive and unstable emotionally. And at the time, she was not sober. I know my brother, and I know that he holds himself and his partners to a high standard, and he hates drama in his relationship. I told him what she said, and he broke up with her, and she basically stalked me and also called me an untrustworthy bitch who ruined her experience with AA. Honestly, I think I was just trying to help my brother out, but some of my friends think it was messed up for me to tell him. But I think it's better for him to know what kind of person she is ahead of time. Am I the asshole? Edit, to clear some things up because people are assuming a lot. I am fighting my case because I believe the legal system is corrupt, but I want to be accountable in other ways. I don't regularly drink and drive. I don't even drink at all. The night was the worst night of my life, and I would take it back in a heartbeat. All I'm asking is opinions on how I should have handled the situation with this girl. Not to talk about whether I deserve to rot in jail because of my DUI. I do not condone drinking and driving, and think it a very serious crime, and I understand the gravity of my actions. User Expert Raccoon has a little bit of excerpt from OP. OP had an additional update. Seems to still be missing the point. My reception last time was not very positive, and I realized that my approach at the time wasn't the best. So in this update, I'm going to try and be emotionless as possible and just give you guys the facts. I showed my brother the thread. We talked about it. He told me he thinks I have a drinking problem. That was hard to hear. He also reached out to his ex. I don't know the results of that. I reread my replies. The stories about drunk drivers killing loved ones hit me the hardest. I felt a lot of guilt realizing what I did and went into a depression spiral. I think everything I bottled up came out, and I quit my job. I emailed the AA group leader with a lengthy apology. She was upset, of course, but was very kind. I'm banned from AA, but she matched me with someone to talk to. I texted my brother's ex with an apology and an offer to meet up in person. She didn't reply for a few days. Eventually she did, and said that she acknowledges, but she also went in on me, and went into detail about how much pain I caused her. She said she cannot forgive me yet. I talked with my lawyer. We're trying to figure out the logistics of a guilty plea without conviction, because he thinks that what I did in my AA may affect my case. I'll likely get my license revoked and have to pay a fine. I'm currently jobless, and I'm probably going to move back in with my parents until I can be better. There is also a tweet going around saying someone knows me and outed me to my brother. This did not happen. This person was trying to capitalize on a messed up situation for internet points. My brother and I have never met, nor interacted with this person. At the moment, I am still very depressed. I'm trying to right my wrongs, but I don't think I can ever do that. However, I think that this was going to come eventually, and the thread didn't make me depressed. It was the consequences of my own actions. Thank you for helping me see the pain I caused before it was too late. Edit, I'm not banned from AA in general, just the AA meeting I went to. So I, just knowing how some audience members will react to things, know this one might be a bit decisive. Not the DUI part, by the way, the outing the anonymous portion of Alcoholics Anonymous. I assume that almost everyone is on the same page that OP's DUIs and drinking and driving is fundamentally unacceptable. The part that I'm more focused on is whether or not OP should have outed their brother's girlfriend's history with drug abuse. Because for me, in my eyes, they're going to Alcoholics Anonymous. Anonymous is the key word here. It's supposed to be a safe place for you to discuss your problems, your addictions, find help, find support, and better yourself. And OP ruined the entire purpose of this program and could potentially cause their brother's ex to relapse because they may have been trying to rebuild. They may have been on their way to doing better in life, and suddenly things collapse again, and yeah. One door closes, and another unfortunate but familiar one opens. It was not OP's place to out that history about their brother's ex's past. It was not their place to do that. That was not something they should have taken from them. The road to recovery is a bumpy and difficult one. I've had plenty of close family members struggle with addiction, and I've watched them claw their way up from the bottom of the well to the top of the goddamn world, and I could not be prouder of what they've accomplished. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes a support group, and it takes just the willingness to actually go and hunt that down and to seek it out. And unlike OP, who was there at behest of their lawyer, they were actually there to better themselves. They were being honest with themselves. They were trying to change for the better. And OP took that from them. That's fucked up. This is one where I'd be curious to hear some additional opinions on because, my stance is what I've spoken it to be. But I know that some people might feel that, hey, I would really like to know if my partner that I'm getting into a relationship with has a previous history with narcotics or not. And I do understand that becomes a very tricky and difficult situation to navigate. But I do feel personally that if there was someone to tell OP's brother that their previous partner had a history with narcotics, it should have been their partner, not OP, taking away that agency from them. But that's just me. I'm sure there might be some dissenting voices, and I'd love to hear them. Hey, welcome to the outro. Don't forget this whole thing is basically brought to you by GamerSupps. If you like caffeine, then I can't recommend GamerSupps enough. Use code Oz at checkout to support the channel. And I do actually use this product. It's replaced all other sources of caffeine for me because I feel good. It doesn't have any of that extra stuff that a pre-workout blend might have. It's with a couple of the extra things to make it so you don't crash as hard. It's good. I like it. Personally, if you really want a good flavor, try the Soda Pressing Pear or even the Dragon Fruit Punch. Those two are my personal favorites right now.